Hello, welcome back to Cabincast Records. That's not right at all. Cabincast Car Reviews is probably more what it actually is called. I've apparently chosen the best time because a huge old van is just coming by, but I'm here. I've just come out of seeing Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, or just Venom, Let There Be Carnage, I suppose. I did not see the first one in cinemas. It was a bit before I was going more often, and I hadn't heard particularly good things. So my surprise when I watched Venom, and it's a lot of fun, you know. It's not the most amazing film by any means. It's certainly no Into the Spider-Verse, but it's still a fun time. It's not any more than that, but I don't think it was really aiming to be. So I hear not the best things about Venom Let There Be Carnage, but figure I'll go see it anyway. And yeah, same thing. It's not a revelation. It's nothing incredible. It's no Dune that I saw last week. I'm seeing last night in Soho in about half an hour or so, just recordings before that, and it might not even be as good as that. I kind of expect to enjoy that one more from a filmmaking standpoint, but for an hour and a half long film, it's fun, it's funny, the action is pretty cool, it's pretty gnarly. The CGI, for me, was absolutely fine. I'm very bad at seeing CGI anyway, so that doesn't stand for much, but I didn't have any nitpicks with that. Tom Hardy is great, Venom's great, their relationship's really great. Cletus Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson, was awesome. So was Screech. I had no issues with any of them, I quite enjoyed them. I had a lot of fun with it. It could have done with maybe, a little bit more time to breathe. 5-10 more minutes, but at the same time I don't know necessarily what they would have done with that. But then I'm not the filmmaker. But for Andy Serkis directing, I thought he did a great job. The pace was pretty quick, but it didn't feel rushed to me. It could have potentially had a little bit more room to breathe, but it didn't need it. I don't think it lacked too much, really. The plot, the through line, all made sense, where it starts, where it goes. You get little bits of the journalistic Eddie from the first one, but a bit less so, but they're still there. You even get Venom helping him with some of it, which is pretty clever. Feels like if maybe we'd have a little bit of Cletus in the first one, but then that would have probably taken away too much from what was going on in that film, and there was a lot going on in that film anyway. Just to have more of a build-up than it all being contained within this one film. But at the same time, again, didn't need it. I liked what they did. I liked how Carnage looked and how the design was very different. Besides just being red, it's kind of more aggressive and spiky, and it's just kind of like a part of Cletus, because it is in his blood, because he bites, Eddie and consumes her blood. And I don't really know how Carnage works. I've not seen any of the Venom comics. The comics I think I really need to try and look at more, but I haven't yet. But it seems like it's probably a part of him, so they are the same. Even though they're not, it is still like a symbiote. Which comes from Venom. Venom's his father, but his father's weaker. This is often the way with that kind of father-son thing. But yeah. The relationship between Carnage and Screech. I'm hoping it's Screech, and I've not used the wrong name. Is like, you feel it. You feel that you feel their connection. They are both very insane. I don't know if they're actually insane, but they're not okay. But abuse from various people certainly did not help that. It does not excuse him being a serial killer, of course, but all that kind of stuff. Music was nothing to write home about, but it suited the theme absolutely fine. The settings were pretty cool. The final fight in the cathedral looked great. The idea of the bell ringing, whilst being a thing that I know from, they've used the organ and stuff in like kind of that environment in Doctor Who before in the past for sound waves, but it was really cool how they used it here with them having like hand-to-hand fights. And like in the last one, Eddie was very much not on top this time. And then the bell fading away, and so the symbiotes could come out again. and then it would go back to, the men fighting again with the bell rang again. That was really clever. Really enjoyed that. Yeah. Until someone else has seen it, that's all I can really say right now. My initial thoughts. It was a whole lot of fun. Spoilers, I guess I maybe should have pointed out, because I kind of didn't do that. But there we go. Too late for that now. There's no editing this recording. Ending makes sense. They're on the run, and stuff with Eddie not being with Anne and her being with Dan, and they're still kind of. It's nice that they help. I really liked Dan's fire and sound, just without the sound line. That's pretty great. Even the cop there, Mulligan, as well. There's definitely something more going on again with him. Again, I'm sure that's potentially a comics thing that I'm not aware about, but he was pretty cool. His relationship with Eddie makes sense, but he did not trusting him, really. But yeah, then the end credit scene, so super spoilers here. I wasn't really sure what they were going to do, but something happened, and now they're somewhere else, and now Spider-Man's there. So is this because of Doctor Strange's spell? Maybe. Certainly seems possible, because we've got the J. Jonah Jameson clip with Tom Holland in it, so exciting. And it seems like Venom recognises him from the hive mind, and maybe the multiverse or something, so that's very interesting. Going to be very interested to see how that plays out in the next Spider-Man at Christmas, or if it's for something down the line. But excited either way. Had a lot of fun with it. Short and sweet, fun laugh, cool action movie. Was a 15. I had a lot of people saying it would have been better if it was an 18, as it's Carnage and he's supposed to be Carnage, but it was still pretty gnarly. It wasn't the Suicide Squad, but that's too much for me, so honestly, I'm okay with it being a 15. But yeah, definitely a bit more brutal than the first one, I think. The subject matter certainly is, with them being, child abuse and serial killings and all that kind of fun stuff. Quote-unquote fun stuff, obviously not actually fun stuff at all. But, yeah, a lot of fun. Really enjoyable film. 7 out of 10, probably. Maybe a bit higher for just pure enjoyment. It's not something you particularly need to focus on. But it's got lots of laughs, lots of cool action, and the characters are pretty great. I think that's all I've got to say. So, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.